Hello YouTube, it's Michael with Sailors with Cars. Today we're here with Kris. Kris, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks. My name's
Thanks for coming on the channel, by the way.
Appreciate it. Name's Christopher Little.
What'd you bring us today?
This is a 2016 Porsche Boxster Spyder.
And we're going to get into that Boxster in just a minute. So it is Sailors with Cars. Kris is a sailor, so of course we've got to talk about that first because I enjoy hearing their stories. And I know sometimes you don't enjoy telling your story, but I'm going to have you tell your story anyhow. So Kris, why don't you start off, first off, how many years in the Navy?
I've been in for 7 years.
And
I joined
I'm sorry, go ahead.
about a year after college. I graduated from the University of South Florida, degree in political science, government and international relations. I decided to enlist anyways. And
Why?
Well, they offered to pay off my college loans.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'll make more than an 04 my first 4 years in the Navy. And then I re-enlisted. So that deal's gone. But they did pay off my college, and that was a very, very nice thing.
Good.
And I got to pick my rate or our job for those that aren't Navy. And I got to pick my first duty station. So I got to be in IT, and now I deal with
IT is?
Information Systems Technician. So we deal with everything communications, whether it's SATCOM, line of sight radio, computers, data centers, cryptographic items. And I spent my first tour at the DOTIS NOC, or the Department of Defense Integrated Intelligence Service Network Operations Center at Pacific Command Joint Intelligence Operations Center, Hawaii. It's alphabet soup. A lot of acronyms. But after that, I again got to pick my orders, and I chose to do pre-commissioned duty on the USS Michael Monsoor, Guided Missile Destroyer 1001. We just took it home and got back in December. We commissioned her in January, so I'm a plank owner of that vessel.
And just a side note on that, that is not an Ingalls-built vessel. That is a Bath-built vessel.
Bath-built vessel.
That in there.
Yep. Yeah, so I got to spend about a year deployed to Bath, Maine.
Yay.
It's worse than worst places to be than craft beer and lobster every night.
Yeah, if you've been to Bath, you'll understand it, and I have.
It was a good place to be, and throughout my time at Monsoor and Pecom Jayak, I've gotten sent out to other vessels and stations that needed IT support. So I got to spend some time on the USS Hawaii, the HMS Daring, the HMS Regina, the USS Nimitz, the USS Pinckney, the USS Lake Erie, and the USS Zumwalt.
You've been on a lot of ships.
So I've been drunk on more foreign vessels than I've been stationed on American.
Isn't that wonderful that they can drink on their ships?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, you don't love that.
But not underway anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they stopped that, at least Canada did, after the HMS Protector caught fire.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was one of 2 oilers that they had that caught fire leaving Hawaii. And we ran out there with a couple destroyers and a at-sea firefighting tug and helped put them out and drove them back to land.
So they're only drinking in port once?
So they only drink in port now.
Maybe at least they get to drink, so that's a whole other conversation.
The Navy's been very good to me. I'll go into how I came about this particular car.
Let me pan out here so we get a very good look at this car. The new location.
So this car in particular is a 1-year only edition. It's called the Boxster Spyder. So it uses the Boxster body, but it uses the Carrera S 3.8 liter flat 6, all the Carrera S brakes. It's got a custom tuned suspension that's bespoke to this car only, done by the Motorsport division. The front steering rack is off the Turbo S. The front bumper is actually active aero with a little smiley face there. That just allows air to come up over it.
Smiley face. Yeah, I like that. I guess I wouldn't have said anything about that, but that you pointed out.
Yeah, that is actually active aero. Everything will come through the front radiators and come out over the top, and it really helps kind of stabilize the front of the car at high speed. There's estimated between 500 and 800 in the US and between 1,500 and 2,000 produced. Total makes this a very rare car for not being a numbered car. For example, the GT4 is produced the same years, and they made about 6,000 worldwide, and about a third of that came to the US. So this is a much rarer car than the well-known GT4.
It's nice you brought it up to the garage for us to look at.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Kind of some of the cool things on this is, like the GT cars, all the seat inserts and door panels are Alcantara, that fake suede stuff you see in all the high-end cars. This particular car was optioned to have the shifter and the steering wheel be leather instead of the Alcantara. It's a little bit of a personal preference thing. It does have the door latches are just this little fabric strip like the GT3 RS has, as well as the GT4. And the whole top is a manual top, so you have to get out and put it up and down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got these little tension straps that plug back in here to keep it, but it's got a much lower, more aggressive body line when it's up. For those that know Porsches, this car is kind of like the GTS, where it comes standard with all of the sport options. So it has sport exhaust and sport chrono is standard. This is missing a few options. It does not have the carbon bucket seats, and it does not have carbon ceramic brakes.
I'm going to take a shot of the inside. Please continue with your description. I'm going to try to get as much.
Well, anyways, these cars come 3.8. They took the 3.8 out of the Carrera S, flipped it 180 degrees, dropped it in this car with a little bit of detuning so that it can't compete, quote unquote. But it has 380 horsepower. The Carrera S has a little over 420, I believe. The difference is actually negligible, and a little bit of tuning from my friends at Fab Speed, and you can get this thing to 450 horsepower pretty easily. When I bought this car, it had 1,200 miles on it. And so it took me about 2 weeks to break it in after I got home and got to play with it.
How many miles did you say it's on now? 3?
I just hit 3 on the way down here today.
Yeah. That's beautiful. What color is it, by the way?
This is a sapphire blue metallic.
Yeah, I love that color.
It's not paint to sample. This was just one of the higher option colors back then, but almost nobody bought this car in this color. Everybody either bought white because that's the German racing color,
Really?
or silver because everybody wants a silver Porsche, and a few people buy black.
Really?
Yep.
See, I'm not aware. I'm not that associated to even know that.
Yep.
You know, all I know is Ferrari red. You know that, and any other car, I never know what color. You know what everybody wants. I do ask people, like when we did the we did a Corvette a few weeks ago, and I don't even remember what color they said the Corvette was. We had
Yellow.
a black one.
Yellow is always
yellow,
the.
yeah. I'm like, didn't know that. So silver or white? White for racing and silver just because they like silver.
There are more silver colors in the spectrum for Porsche than any other shade out there, and it's usually one of the cheaper option colors, except for GT Silver Metallic. So yeah, most of the colors you're going to see out there are silver because it's a low option color. You got the free colors: white, black, red, and yellow.
Huh.
And
So
then-
what's the best thing you like about this car?
This car, before, when I just had the Boxster S, I always kind of looked at this car as, you know, what if the Boxster had the 911 powertrain? So I like it for that, but that's just me. And when I pull into a Cars and Coffee or Rancho Santa Fe, no one knows that. They just like the looks of it and the aggressive body lines because of the top. It just makes it completely different than the normal Boxsters.
Yeah.
And then also the color I appreciate, and then all the little interior touches like the Spyder in the headrest and the deviated stitching throughout. And that's all just how the car comes. This isn't, you know, 10 grand of options with exclusive manufacturer. It just comes this way. And that's what I really like about this car, is because Porsche really likes to nickel and dime you on the options.
Yeah, they do.
You know, and
So this one just comes with all offers. That's why you're paying so much for this car.
yes,
I mean, it's not like it's a base model Porsche that you're adding to it. It's an expensive car to begin with, so paying for this stuff?
Yeah, from the factory, these mildly optioned ran about, just under 100,000, 98 or above. Where the base model Boxster was selling for the high 50s and the S was in the 70s.
Yeah.
GTS was just above that, but that's plus options. So you can option an S model up to $100,000 if the dealer will let you.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. But you know what? You know what I want to do?
Drive it.
Well, I do, but I want to ride in it for sure.
Okay.
So let's put some cameras in it. Let's go for a ride.
Sounds good.
All right.